Hello, my dear friends, best greetings from Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. My name is Victor Fursov. I'm a research entomologist, beekeeper, and teacher. I'm working at the Institute of Zoology of National Academy of Sciences in Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. And today I'm translating this online stream just through this StreamYard webpage to connect with you all around the world. My people, my followers, just follow me from different countries, 50 different countries, maybe even more. And it's indicated just in Google statistics. And by the way, I'm speaking English in this channel. Yes. And all comments in English. But if you have questions in your own language, okay, just so you can indicate, you can write it just in your own language so I can translate it as well. Either using Google Translator or I can understand at least two different languages, English, Russian and Ukrainian, 3 languages. So by the way, and today we will be talking about insects, about parasitoids, about parasitic insects. People are enjoying different types of insects, mostly just pleasant insects, mostly beautiful insects. These are beetles, butterflies, dragonflies, maybe some more, but majority butterflies and beetles and night moths. People enjoying them, just collecting by themselves. Sometimes people are buying them just in different commercial markets, even in internet. But I do like to show on my video stream my original videos, which I have recorded myself in laboratory or in the field, and today I will show you my original videos. And for sure, some of them will be shown just for the first time. You never seen them before, because parasitic insects were very small, were invisible, were flying in the air like plankton, so they have a size from 0.5 millimeters, half of millimeter, up to maybe 2 millimeters. So that's why they're invisibly flying. They're not like bees and wasps, just 10 millimeters or 15 or 3 centimeters size, pretty visible. And also hunting wasps are stinging wasps, and so they are venomous and dangerous. But parasitic wasps, they have only strange name, parasitic, but they are not dangerous for human beings at all. So they are not stinging, they are not venomous. They're a little bit venomous, but for their prey, to be precise, for their host, which is useful as a meal for their larvae, because their larvae developing inside their host. Host is usually just bigger than just parasitoid, and parasitoid is laying eggs inside the host or on the body of host, or host is eating sometimes with plant eggs of parasitoid, and parasitoid coming inside the body of host, and larvae of parasitoid or many larvae of parasitoids are developing inside one big, huge host sometimes. In some cases, parasitoids are very clever, and so the female can lay just only one egg. An egg is developing in an interesting way, which is called parthenogenesis, and in this case, without fertilization, producing progeny of many individuals, like a colony of different clones. So, and that's why in one big host, many small parasitoids can be developing. So let's start from the beginning. And for beginning, I show you just wasp as usual. You can then recognize that you like wasps. Probably not, because wasps are stinging, and you should be a little bit careful about them, because stinging wasps are not so pleasant. But if you are careful about them, if you are not irritating them, they are not dangerous at all. Especially this type of a small and not grouping in a big mass, like Polistes paper wasps. And on the left side, you see just this is Sphexidae wasp, Sphex wasp. So they're feeding on drops of honey. So if you collected some insects and put them in a jar, in a petri dish, always need to put them some water and some honey for feeding. So that's why they will be feeding on water and on honey and can live for a certain period before recording video under the sunshine you see here from the window. Just coming very normal and best way to record under the sunshine. But these are Polistes. They are not dangerous. They can sting, but they are not so much aggressive because their nest is rather small, unless you are not coming in opening the nest, which is done from the paper, to be correct, from cellulose. Paper wasp will not try to attack you and sting you. But of course, if you can take the wasp in your fingers, wasp can sting you, and sometimes pretty painfully. But parasitic wasps are belonging to the same order as predaceous wasps, like this paper wasp, Hymenoptera. And these are not wasps, but they look like wasps because they belong into the same order, Hymenoptera. And these are Formicoidea, these are ants, a large group of ants workers, maybe some queens. On the left side was a bigger one, queen. Different types of ants of a Formicidae family, Formicoidea superfamily. And you see ants, workers especially, they are not winged, they are wingless. They have very special structure of body, so easy to recognize that this is not a wasp, this is ant, worker ant. But queens for short period can be with wings, so because they're swarming with drones when they have wings, and after that, after swarming, queens just cut off their wings and just making their colony nest. But now, so you can recognize this is a petiolus, very special shape of a structure between thorax and between abdomen, which is called petiolus, which is two-segmented. Very short antennae, no wings, and some Formicidae, some ants may have a sting, so some species they can make a they have even very dangerous venomous sting, but mostly in tropics. So they are not widely spread, such a venomous species in Europe, so don't worry about it. If you're coming to Australia, Asia, Africa and South America, so you can find some venomous species, especially in South America. Welcome to Ecuador to find very dangerous fire ants, so they can sting painfully and you can enjoy it very much. But some people keep in ants in formicariums in laboratory culture. Some people enjoy keeping even venomous species of ants in formicariums just for fun, just to be very careful with venomous culture and to enjoy them and maybe just for prestige to explain that I have venomous species of Formicidae, but other people don't have it. So for prestige, people are becoming very crazy. But now I can see some parasitic wasps, parasitoids. Their larvae developing in plants, in seeds, and in other arthropods. This is phytophagous Chalcid wasp belonging to the genus Bruchophagus. This is Bruchophagus saphore. As you see, the name Bruchophagus saphore is developing inside green seeds of Saphora, very widely spread species of plant and southern areas. So this species was collected in Turkish Republic. But I collected also Bruchophagus saphore in France. So it's widely spread in where it was introduced, definitely, to South France. Bruchophagus saphore was introduced. And I have published a paper about biology and morphology of Bruchophagus saphore, and with some photographs of oviposition of Bruchophagus saphore inside the seed pod of a saphora in laboratory condition. So sometimes possible to find plant, host, and collect parasitoid or phytophagous Chalcid wasp. Join them together in petri dish. If you put host and if you put parasitoid, so parasitoid will be very happy to see the host, can search for it, can recognize it, and then start making oviposition. And the process of oviposition, this is indication that you just got correct host, and so this is just evidence that parasitoid just found correct meal for their possible oviposition and laying larvae. But here, next one will be also phytophagous insect. Very widely spread. Widely spread species. And this is pollinator of ficus. Pollinator of ficus. Of a family Argaonidae. Argaonidae. Blastophaga. Genus Blastophaga. Genus Blastophaga. Unfortunately here it is dead, but I have many videos of alive as well. They are widely spread in the same distribution of ficus, mostly in the southern areas, in southern countries, in Italy, France, Turkish Republic, in North Africa, in many countries, in India, in Southeast Asia, in Australia, definitely in Malaysia, Thailand. Different species of ficus, especially wild species of ficus, are just the host for development of Argaonidae fig wasps. This fig wasp, Blastophaga psenes, has a wing, so females were just searching for laying eggs, and later I will show you some males without wings. And you see here on the left side you see head, and here on the right side these are males. Males I'll show you later under the high magnification. So males are totally different. Males, they have no wings and they are very strange. They look like I don't know, like small ants, but with a very strange shape of body, with very enlarged hind wings, hind legs, first pair of legs, because they are so strong to make, first of all, mating, and then secondly they are making hole through thick fruit. They are making a very long way for emergence of females. So that's why we have also well developed mandibles, special shape to penetrate very tough tissues of plant or fig fruit, and then making a hole outside, exit for females. Whereas mating just directly inside the fig fruit, and then start to make hole outside. Sometimes they are falling down from the fruit and dying, but their major important role is mating. And second, definitely making the exit from fig fruit, because females must exit from the fig fruit easily without damage of wings. So otherwise they will be, if they will make their way just themselves, they can damage wings and they cannot move to another tree, because they have very important role just for spreading distribution around to make oviposition in other fruits or in other trees. But with these funny males, which looks like mole cricket, tiny mole cricket with the same very strong first pair of legs like mole cricket, so they're making same holes, but only very tiny, very thin holes in fig fruits. And they're very strange. And here they're dead, but they're completely different shape, as you recognized in comparison with female. Especially they have a very enlarged first pair of legs, very strong like mole cricket. Yes. I published a paper about the biology of this species, and I thank you for your attention, Menitok, who is coming. Hello to everyone who is coming to join our stream. And here you see again female of Blastophaga with enlarged, elongated ovipositor right side of screen and flattened shape of a head, because female need to squeeze through the hole to exit the hole from the fig fruit. You see, flattened head, which is just entering the hole, and also she has a very elongated, very strong mandibles to cut the tissue of fig tree. And now I show you very strange, very interesting parasitoid. I enjoyed very much because I took this video in a field, and it was rather surprising to find this parasitoid. I found this just near Kyiv in a place called Pirogovo. No, not Pirogovo, near Pirogovo there is Feofania region, near Feofania lake. And you see here this piece of plant. I just took this video just on precisely on plant. I didn't cut plant, but just turn it around, put it on my knee, just with my camera in my hands, with some people walking around. I took this video immediately, because otherwise, if you do not take video immediately in the field, sometimes insect will escape, just will go for another job. If you can collect it, you will not be able to repeat video again. But this very big insect, big parasitoid, size about 1 centimeter, what she's doing? This is a female. What she is doing? Definitely female is standing in special position with so curved hind legs, with extended ovipositor inside something. Or female is making ovipositioning. So ovipositing something. Yes, she's ovipositing inside eggs of Tabanidae, Ceomyzidae or Stratiomyidae flies. Two different. These are a group of black-colored eggs. And after bringing to the laboratory from these eggs, just very tiny larvae started to hatch. But now female is just moving a little bit and laying egg, very tiny egg inside tiny egg of a Stratiomyidae fly. This Stratiomyidae fly is an aquatic fly. This is not mosquito, but pretty big size fly, which is laying eggs near water. And larvae is developing inside of the water, feeding on mud, on just rotated plants inside the water. And parasitoid is big, but larva is very small. So what's going on? How larva will be feeding inside so small egg? The secret is that larva will be waiting for growth of larva with the host. So fly will be growing gradually during 2 or 3 weeks, becoming last stage larva, very big size, about 2 centimeters. And grown larva is just coming out of water. So big larva is coming out of water for pupation. So, but she will never pupate, because she is containing inside just one egg of this very interesting and very surprising parasitoid of a family, Chalcidoidea. Family Chalcidoidea. So this interesting parasitoid will emerge from already grown larva of Stratiomys fly. just when this grown larva before pupation will be coming out of water. So she was touching somewhere, or she's floating just on the surface of water. Sometimes it's quite visible. Very large larvae of Stratiomes. And if you collect this large larva of Stratiomes with well-developed head and a good segmentation, you can receive, you can image, you can breed this interesting parasitoid. And the last but not the least parasitoids, I show you several videos of very tiny parasitoids. Tiny parasitoids, they're egg parasitoids, but this Chalcidoidea family, pretty big parasitoids, but these are also egg parasitoids. Previous species was egg larval parasitoid, which is developing egg larva, and you would consider egg pupal parasitoid. But these are tiny egg parasitoids. Only one individual of this tiny parasitoid developing inside the egg of host. And who is this? These are tiny parasitoids of a genus Trichogrammatidea family. Egg parasitoids of beetles and different night moths and daily butterflies. So they're very small because eggs of butterflies and moths very small. So these parasitoids pretty tiny. Their size is just only half of millimeter, and they are not growing anymore. This is their just final size, just half of millimeter, because adults of parasitoids are not growing, and adults of other insects not growing at all. These are insects. So, but parasitoid has size half of millimeter, and these are mostly females. Females are mating here with males and just spreading around. They are flying. They have the same structure like big honeybees: wings, antennae, head, legs, despite their very tiny size, half of millimeter. And this parasitoid of genus Trichogramma, here you see the size of this parasitoid is half of millimeter. On the screen they are big, so about 2 millimeters. This is the size of total screen. Parasitoid just half of millimeter. And they host different butterflies, because some species are parasitoids of agricultural pests. Trichogramma is widely used in biological control of agricultural pests all around the world. So these parasitoids are bred in biological control laboratories, and they are used for biological control to suppress population of agricultural crops, agricultural pests on agricultural crops. And maybe one more. I need to take file from the archive. Wait a second. And I show you oviposition. Okay, this big one, bigger one. Oviposition of tiny parasitoid of family Pteromalidea. We have seen today oviposition of Chalcidoid wasps, but this is a parasitoid of a family Pteromalidea, size about 1 millimeter. And what she is doing, this is female. Female is sitting on puparium of fly, on puparium of Phoridae fly, or maybe puparium of a fruit fly, Drosophila. And you see with special positioning of ovipositor, which is extended from the abdomen on the left side of screen. And from the abdomen is coming inside tiny, like a needle. This needle is the ovipositor. This is female is ovipositing and making just some movements with abdomen on the left side of screen. And on the right side of screen, this is antennae on the head of, and you see. and ovipositor is moving inside, penetrating the shell of puparium, and female of parasitoid is laying egg inside the pupa, which is covered by this brown shell of puparium, because inside there is a just naked pupa of fly, fruit fly. So, and parasitoid is just drilling like making a hole with a screwdriver, and moving one side to another side, one side to another side by the top of a abdomen, just making efforts to put deeper like now, the deepest positioning, and after the deepest positioning of ovipositor, female just taking off ovipositor, taking off the needle, because through this tiny needle, female is laying egg just under the shell, inside the pupa. Now I just enlarged, making a huge magnification, and you will see just the needle under the big magnification. Yes, this is a needle. I made a very big magnification, and this is just abdomen, and this is just the base of needle, the base of ovipositor, and down there this is a hole, and you see there are some movements up and down, because ovipositor consists of several parts all together. This is not like a needle, just tough needle from one needle. There are several needles all joined together. This is very special structure of ovipositor, and this ovipositor is moving like several pen, so like making movements, not like just like a screwdriver, making movements different positioning, but making a movements up and down, because there are special needles like shells, and inside these shells there is a very tiny needle, which is even more tiny than this needle. And these needles all together, they are moving, just penetrating the host surface. And you see here, tiny. On the top there is a small drop, because liquid hemolymph is coming out of the body of a fly. So because ovipositor just penetrating a live organism inside, or just naked pupa inside puparium, and ovipositor is still making movements up and down, and then just through these shells, like through the syringe, like a very tiny syringe, egg is coming inside under this shell. And in many cases parasitoids using this liquid, which was coming from the hole after the ovipositioning. But in many cases, not only ovipositing, but just making a hole and leaking this liquid only for feeding. But here it seems to me that female is making the hole very long time, when it's considered several minutes. So in this case, female of parasitoid is using ovipositor for precise, for correct purpose, exactly for ovipositioning, because it needs to make very deep hole, deep insertion inside the body. And after this work, needle is just taken off, and we are just reducing magnification, and you see female is still sitting and just drilling puparium of fruit fly. But positioning of ovipositor and positioning of abdomen on the left side just changing all the time, because female needs to pump through the syringe egg inside the body of fly. So this is ovipositor is working like two different tools, like a needle, like a syringe, and like a pump. Three different tools. Just penetration, and then just pumping and ovipositing. And after ovipositing, female is usually taking it off very quickly, and just running out, just to be very careful to save life, because this is dangerous positioning, oviposition, because ovipositing is just moveless positioning. So female is just sitting, she is absolutely has no protection. Okay, and take it off. Take off. Yes, as I said, female is just using very tiny drop of liquid just for feeding. She's just checking again, and yes, and using this very tiny drop for feeding, just for drinking. So she's drinking a little bit after it. And it's very safe because it's good for feeding to restore balance, because this is kind of food for female. And also just process of ovipositioning just finished. Okay, so these are parasitoids of family. Pteromalide was the last video, but it was the last but not the least, because I have just a very large archive for different videos. Parasitoids from the family Pteromalide, of a superfamily Chalcidoidea, Chalcid wasp, and from the superfamily Ichneumonidae, and some predaceous wasps, Vespoidae, and some wild solitary bees, Alpoidae. So don't worry about it. I have a large collection of insects, and I have a large collection of videos which I took under the microscope and in the field. So we have something to show you. So if you come next time and you want to have conversation directly during video, you can just come here, press on this, like here, and press on this tiny link, StreamYard.com. This link allowed to make joint stream, so we can communicate all together on the same screen. Today I have just myself for lecture, but if someone will have fun opportunity to come to join us together, like this Benito, hello to him again. So welcome. You can join me using this link. Okay, thank you for coming. I hope it was interesting and entertaining for you. Don't forget to press like, write your comments and ask your questions. Visit my Patreon page, which link is given under this video. And don't forget, press like, write your comments and ask your questions. And don't forget that Ukraine is fighting for freedom and independence, and Ukraine is forever. Good luck and see you soon. And write comments and ask questions in English language, definitely. English is international language, or in Ukrainian language. It's acceptable as well. Thank you for coming. Good luck. See you soon on my channel during next stream. Prepare your questions. Write your questions in English. I will answer you. And we have discussion more actively. Thank you for coming. Good luck. Bye bye. Ukraine is forever.